Hi everyone, welcome back to A Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie and I'm bringing you day 10 today. I know, I'm jumping all over the place again, doing things out of order. So we're skipping over day 8 and day 9 and we're moving on to day 10. And the story today that I want to tell is not a particularly happy story. So as many of you may know already, I live in Southern California, and right now this state, actually this whole year, has been really bad for wildfires, and particularly at the time that I'm recording this, which is on Thursday, December 7th, there's some really big fires going on, and they are not very contained at this point. And one of them that's really close to where I live is what they're calling the creek fire. And as of today, it's only 20% contained. So what I am going to do in my journaling is leave a spot to put a date when the fire is actually put out. So I will put the start date and then the end date, I think. At least that's my thought. This was the other day, I think it was Tuesday maybe, on my way home. The clouds in the background are not actually cloud, that is smoke. The traffic on the 134 was pretty much stopped, and that's because one of the major freeways here, the 210, was actually closed for a section, which means a lot of the people that normally take that route home had to come via the 134 and then take the 5 up. So I was not moving at the time that I took this photo. I was careful, but it really tells a picture in that, you know, look at all the cloud and the fires, or fires, I don't know, what do you want to call it, a smoke cloud? Yeah, smoke cloud. You can see how visible it was, and the overall impact. I mean, the traffic, I mean, LA traffic is bad to start off with, but this was bumper to bumper, and it was only about 4:15 in the afternoon. So I can only imagine how bad it would have been by 6 p.m. So that's what that particular photo is. And then I took this photo off of, or it's actually more a print screen, of the area where the fire is located. And I actually live in Burbank, and I live in Burbank. I don't think I was in any immediate danger. At least I never felt that way. So this picture may look a little more scary than perhaps it really was. I think what helped the city of Burbank a little bit was the fact that we had a fire in our hills, or in the mountain range, back in September. So a lot of the scrub and brush had already been burnt, and so there wasn't a lot of fuel for the fire to come this way, as much as it could have. So that is, you know, I guess a blessing, even though we went through that just a couple months ago. So this was taken on the 6th as well. So that's what these two are, the two photos. I'm thinking I'm going to use a white 4x6 card, and then again use the leftover scraps from day 7. No, not day 7. What day was that? Day 7. As an embellishment on here somehow. I want to use these houses and trees, particularly because a lot of structures have been burned down, and a lot of the trees and stuff as well. So it's not a destructive embellishment, but I think it lends itself to this as opposed to something that's a lot more festive. I also pulled out some of the stamps that I had pulled, because there's a few things that I think might work. One of them is, I think this is from, this is either from Studio Calico or Ali Edwards, I'm not sure which. I think Ali Edwards, but don't quote me on that. There's this one half circle that says rough day, so I would like to include that one. I also have this app. I know this one's in Ali Edwards for sure. I think this was from her last year's end of year story kit. Event review and it says best, okay, and worst, so I can use that. There's also this one here that says the worst part, so I think I will try and incorporate those. And then I also have this LE Studio one with like noteworthy. I thought maybe might make a cute banner, or today, or true story. I guess all of those would work. So I'm not too sure how I'm going to make all the stamping work, but I do want to include at least some of these in the card that I'm going to use. I might put a label on this one here just to explain the smoke cloud, and I think that's probably going to be about it. So I will check back with you shortly and show you what I come up with. So my page is done, and I didn't change it too much from what I had originally discussed. I added the label to the car photo. I wrote out the 4x6 card. I wrote my journaling. I didn't talk about my title, so I am stretching this a little bit, I think. So as you know, I'm trying to pick some sort of song title or lyric from a Christmas song and using that as my title or prompt for each day. And this particular title, 7 o'clock news, comes from a Simon and Garfunkel song. It's, I think if you Google it, it says 7 o'clock news / Silent Night, and it's from what I can tell from the video and stuff, it basically is someone reading the news and how depressing it is, and then they have Silent Night playing in the background. So I'm stretching a little bit probably, but that's okay. So I did call it 7 o'clock news. I used the stamp set event review, just called it the worst. I did not put any stars down because I don't think it warrants anything. I just wrote about what I told you about how bad the year has been and the wildfire that's closest to me, and how it, you know, while I haven't felt in any danger, you know, there is that thought that it can change very quickly. On the map card, I added this little date sticker. This was from the American Crafts Remarks sticker sheet. So that was this one right here. And I just put the start date of this particular fire and then of course day 10. And as I mentioned before, I wanted to include like the start date and end date of the fires and stuff. And so what I did was I did some journaling on the inside. Now originally I thought of doing this as a flip, but because these pockets are actually bigger than 3x4, it looks a little bit weird and I didn't want to reprint. So I'm okay with having to pull it out. I just added the tab so that the person knows to pull it up. I listed the 3 fires that have kind of been the top most ones relevant to where I am specifically. The Creek Fire, which is the one like I mentioned before, is earliest. The Thomas Fire, which is the really large fire over by Ventura. And then the Skirball Fire, which is over in the Bel Air community, so also within the city of Los Angeles, or within the greater city of Los Angeles. And then I just mentioned a couple other fires that have started this week. And my plan is, once I know when the fires have actually been extinguished, I'll come back in and populate it with the end date and then the number of acres that have been impacted by that. At least that's my thought. And we'll just pop that back in this page pocket here. And that is pretty much it for day 10. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment below if you're participating in December Daily, and perhaps where we can find either your YouTube or if you're on Instagram. Let us know, because we'd like to see what everybody else is up to. So until next time, we'll talk to you later. Have a good day and happy crafting.